You've reached the end of this module on Introduction to Databases. In this module, you've discovered the basics of databases and data, received an intro to SQL, or structured query language, and explored the basic structure of a database. It's now time to recap the key points and concepts you learned and skills that you gained. You began the module with an introduction to databases and data. Following the completion of this first lesson, you can now provide an overview of what a database is at a conceptual level, outline real-world examples of database usage, and explain how data is organized within a database. You can now also explain the importance of related data within a database, identify an instance of related data within a database, and provide an overview of new trends in database applications. You're also able to identify different types of databases and provide a high-level overview of how databases have evolved. Following your exploration of databases and data, you were then introduced to SQL. This lesson focused on the basics of SQL, or structured query language. During this lesson, you learned how to outline the purposes of SQL and demonstrate an understanding of the role of SQL in databases. You can also identify the advantages of SQL, such as its low entry level, its wide range of applications, and its portability across operating systems. And you can also explain how these advantages will assist you when working with databases. And you're also able to provide a high-level overview of how SQL, DDL, DML, and DQL syntax is used, and identify the main SQL commands used in databases. In the final lesson of this module, you explored basic database structure. Now that you've reached the end of this lesson, you can explain the concept of a database table and outline what it's used for, and identify the key components of a database table, such as columns, rows, data types, and keys. You are now familiar with the basics of databases. You can explain how they store data, identify methods for interacting with databases through SQL, and outline the basic structure of a database. That's a great start to your database journey. Well done.